Breaking news that's coming in right now. BJP trains guns at Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee over Dharna. BJP says Mamata is misleading the people of Bengal. BJP says that the centre funds more than Bengal's resources. Bengal contributes 4.4%, gets 7.5% in return. Amit Malviya, BJP IT cell chief, has now tweeted, and I quote, "On Ram Navami, Mamata Banerjee is sitting on a dharna and misleading the people of Bengal on the central government's contribution to the state. Truth, central funding has always been greater than West Bengal's own resources. Bengal contributes 4.4% to India's tax collection, gets 7.5% in return." Unquote. So the BJP there trying to punch holes in the arguments which Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has laid forth, and she is sitting on a dharna saying that the centre is not providing West Bengal with adequate funds. Now BJP IT cell chief, who's also the co-in-charge for the state of West Bengal for the Bharatiya Janata Party, has tweeted, and I quoted over here, "On Ram Navami, Mamata Banerjee is sitting on a dharna and misleading the people of Bengal on central government's contribution to the state. Truth, central funding has always been greater than West Bengal's own resources. Bengal contributes 4.4% to India's tax collection, gets 7.5% in return." Remember, Mamata Banerjee is sitting on a two-day dharna in Kolkata demanding that the centre release more funds for the state of West Bengal, that the centre is depriving West Bengal of its rightful share of the central funds pie. But now the BJP has hit back that Mamata Banerjee is misleading the state of Bengal. Amit Malviya, who is the BJP's state co-in-charge, is joining us over the phone line. Mr. Malviya, you're saying that Ms. Mamata Banerjee, who is sitting on a two-day dharna, saying that the centre is not providing West Bengal with adequate funds, is actually misleading the state.
Mamata Banerjee is lying. She's being economical with truth. The fact is that the centre has always provided enough and more resources to West Bengal. In fact, West Bengal's contribution to India's total tax collection is about 4.4%, and it gets about 7.5% in return. And this is not all. The entire schemes run by the state government are ridden with endemic corruption, and most of them have been challenged in the court, from Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana to the MNREGA. There is corruption all through in West Bengal.
Okay, so you're saying that there is corruption all through in West Bengal, and Mamata Banerjee is misleading the state. She, of course, time and again, Mr. Malviya, not the first time, she's of course resorted to a dharna this time round, but time and again, when she's in fact come to Delhi and met with the Prime Minister, this is the one issue that she keeps raising, that the centre is not providing the state of West Bengal and is depriving it of its rightful share of the central fund pie.
Well, Mamata Banerjee is not the only one who's held a dharna. The BJP also held a dharna yesterday, and we've highlighted the corruption in West Bengal in all central government schemes. That too must find its way to the media. As far as the central government and its contribution is concerned, we put out complete data year on year, and each year you will see that the central government's contribution is significantly higher than what West Bengal generates on itself. The extent of money that the central government contributes is over about 126% more than what the state government collects. So Mamata Banerjee cannot mislead the people of Bengal, and Ramanavami is not an occasion when Mamata Banerjee should have been on a dharna when the people of state take out several Shobha Yatras. It really shows how little she cares about the Hindus of West Bengal.
Right, sir. Also on Tuesday, the Chief Minister had accused the BJP-led central government of not releasing funds for the Manrega project for Bengal and other initiatives of its housing and road departments. She, in fact, had stated, and I quote her over here, "The centre stopped releasing funds for Manrega and Indira Awas Yojana Gramin. Besides, it has also stopped scholarships for OBC students." How do you respond?
Because there have been several reports of widespread corruption in all these schemes. They have gone under an audit process, and the audits have found merit in the allegations. In fact, schemes like MNREGA, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the list given by the state government, the list of beneficiaries, has found several beneficiaries who already own big houses, but they all belong to the TMC cadres and have been put in the list. So such gross, glaring irregularities have been observed, which have been challenged in the court. the audit committees sent by the central government and respective ministries have found merit in the allegations, and that is why, pending inquiry, these funds have been stopped. Mamata Banerjee's government is the nodal agency for providing list of beneficiaries, and it is riddled with corruption. She has ensured that people from her cadre find their way and not the actual beneficiaries. Now, if this is the kind of management and the administration that Mamata Banerjee is overseeing in Bengal, naturally it will face judicial scrutiny, and till that happens, funds cannot be released, because after all, there are certain parameters along which these funds are released. Also, Mamata Banerjee has fraudulently changed names of a lot of these central government schemes to make them sound like they are schemes of the West Bengal government, which again is a violation of these central government programs, and which means the central government is well within its right to stop the funding. It applies to scholarship, it applies to eye cataract operations, it applies to Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, it applies to MNREGA. Every scheme in West Bengal is riddled with corruption, and the end beneficiaries of this entire corruption is the party and cadre of Mamata Banerjee. We've seen how teacher recruitment scam has blown up in her face, and the heat of it is really at her doorstep. There is cattle smuggling, there is coal smuggling, in which Mamata Banerjee's nephew is directly being investigated. So Mamata Banerjee, her immediate family, in the entire TMC party rank and file are steeped in corruption. She's facing massive backlash from the people, particularly in rural Bengal, and that is why, to whitewash her sins, she's sitting on this dharna.
Okay, sir, in a scenario where you, of course, allege that there is corruption in these schemes, as far as, the money that is being sent by the centre, it is being sent to those who are basically TMC cadres. They are not the rightful beneficiaries, and hence those funds have been stopped pending judicial scrutiny. Then how does the money eventually reach the rightful beneficiaries? How do you work around that?
Well, the moment judiciary looks at it and finds merit in the allegations, they ask for the process to be corrected, and Mamata Banerjee's government ensures they send the right list of beneficiaries. That is when the funds will be released. So the onus of getting funds from central government lies completely on the state government, because that is the agency that has to execute the schemes. But they cannot deviate from the policies laid down for these schemes. They cannot deviate on the beneficiaries. They cannot deviate on the parameters that the beneficiaries have to be adhering to. And Mamata Banerjee and her government is responsible for all of this. So it is really on her to ensure that she implements it the way it has to be done, following all guidelines and principles, and then the money can reach the end beneficiary.
Okay.
Mamata Banerjee is the one holding on to the money. She's the one who's responsible for the poverty and lack of funds in several schemes in West Bengal. She is the one who should be held accountable.
Okay, so she should be held accountable is what the BJP has to say. Mr. Malviya, thank you so much for joining us on India Today, sir.